Welcome back. I hope by now you have your pricing model and your pricing strategy in place, that we can jump into the next part of the course, which is the goal for this video, the break-even projection. Now, I don't want you to go all super calculation mode. It's a simple break-even projection to just get an idea of how much you need to sell in order to get your product or service offering to a profitable margin. So we're going to take a look at, firstly, keep it realistic. And if you've done your homework properly, and if you've done your market and industry research properly, you should get an idea of the opportunity in the market that's possible for you if you sell directly the need of the market rather than the luxury. So once you have that idea of how much more or less you think you can sell and through which channel you will market and sell your product or service, you can then say, my suggestion or my projection is then I'm going to sell X amount of units per day or X amount of units per month. And once you get that estimate and it's realistic, I want to encourage you to divide it almost by 25%. We're going worst case scenario now. We want to see what's the worst case scenario if things don't go according to plan. Because we always think larger when it comes to projections. I don't know why. Sometimes we try to fool ourselves that things are better than it actually is, or the product will sell better than it actually will sell in reality. But I want to say, tone it down, nothing unrealistic. Let's stay realistic and let's plan for worst case scenario. So once you get that amount of units you're going to sell per week and per month, divide that by 25%. Right, and then we have a more or less realistic projection because it's backed up by market research and we're going worst case scenario. So the formula is fairly simple. First of all, you need to project your gross profit. And gross profit basically means that we're taking our selling price, we multiply the amount of units we're going to sell in the month, and then we subtract the cost of goods sold. That is your gross profit margin. So that's the first formula that you need to do in order to get a realistic gross profit. Now, to get your net profit, you need to take your gross profit and you need to subtract your operational expenses. That's going to get you to your net profit amount. Now, the stats might scare you, and sometimes it's a good reality check to understand how much I need to sell in order to break even and even be profitable after that. Now, when it comes to the pricing model, which we did in the previous couple of videos, and when it comes to the break-even projection, it's very important now to identify if you're not going to break even and if it's not a viable selling price at this stage. You've got three options to go now. The first option is you either need to increase your volume sold, that's number one, because you've got a percentage profit, which means in the longer term you are going to be profitable. So that's your first option. Your second option is to increase your selling price. That's going to give you more percentages to work with to buff up your expenses. And then the third option is to basically cut your expenses wherever possible. Make sure that you're going bare basics and that your expenses is not too much. So those are the three options. If your pricing strategy doesn't seem to work out and you're not going to be profitable, I would do one of those three. I think the best case scenario would be to rather say I'm going to increase my selling price, but I'm going to add value to my selling price or my package, which means I'm going to buff it up with a bit of extra added on value for my client that it justifies while my price is going up. There you have it, guys, in a nutshell. In the next video, we're going to take a look at the practical part of your pricing model and your break-even projection to get an ultimate financial strategy. I'll see you guys in the next video.